On this episode of the Black Boss Ladies platform.
People always say, you got the career and you got that. My career is happening regardless. This check is coming around the clock regardless if people decide they don't want to wear bundles no more. Yeah. This is happening. Right. And this is my passion. I love helping people. When I tell you it's a boy who went to CNA school with me, LP in school, he said, girl, I thought you were selling drugs the way we'd be pulling up and you'd be popping that trunk giving people her.
Oh man, she got that. I wish I should have had. I never have felt that.
And people be around here. People that feel like that. People be around here questioning God about your blessings. They do.
Welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform, the place where legacies live.
Welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform. I'm your host, Tiffany Lee.
And I'm Julia Myers. And today we have Tierra Smith. She is actually from our hometown, East St. Louis, Illinois. Tierra wears many hats, okay? She's a nurse practitioner, she's a nurse instructor, she has a beauty bar, and she also sells hair. So I'm going to say a nurse and a mogul. That's what you are. So welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform. We are happy to have you here.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Thank you for being on. So the first question that we ask, because our show is really about helping other young black women find their purpose, or older black women find their purpose. So what is your definition of success?
So my definition of success, I think, kind of is a little different from other people. Okay. Usually people define their success by things they have done. Like they have a checklist, and if you meet this checklist, then you're deemed successful, I guess. For me, success comes with a feeling, an internal feeling that I have. Like it's something that I felt inside that I knew, oh, you might be successful. Because I had a feeling of, I guess, content. I had a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling that I knew, good. Like you've accomplished this, you've given back, you're the mother, you're these things. So it wasn't a checklist for me. It wasn't making this amount of money. It wasn't having these businesses. It was literally a feeling that I felt inside that I knew, I'm successful.
Felt full.
Yes.
And I think that's very, oh my God, the level of emotional intelligence is amazing with that, because I think what people have to realize is when we say I want to make this, or I want to open this, or I want to do this, what we're actually looking is the feeling that will come from those things. So if you have already defined that that's your level, that's what success means to you, you're all light years ahead of most of us, because I've even been in predicaments where I thought that was going to bring me that feeling, and it didn't. Right? So I love that. I
tell people sometimes people chase the wrong thing. Sometimes you're chasing an image versus the way you feel. Because even if I look great on the outside and I don't feel good on the end, what does it really mean? What does that matter? So it's like you gotta have that feeling to go with it, because your success is what you define it as. Like,
I get that, and we talk about fullness, but also wholeness.
Yes,
because sometimes you do feel empty. You know what I'm saying? Like when you feel like you haven't got to where you really want to go, you kind of feel empty. Like it's a yearning within you that. So I do love that. I love that. And we need to move beyond material things. You have to, because the truth of the matter is that no matter how much you get, it's going to be somebody out there that has more. It's going to be more that you can get, and we already have so much junk.
So much stuff. It also brings me, I literally just reposted this from a TikTok, and the lady was saying how fake fruit, right? Because if we start focusing on the feeling, we are very focused on the physical and the materialistic things from social media, seeing people's success, and we like, oh, I want to have that. But a lot of times those people are going home and they're not feeling that.
And then you're asking for something that somebody else has that make them happy, but just because you saw, you don't even know if that makes you happy.
Right.
Like, how are you chasing her? How are you chasing that? Because you saw it and it looked good. That ain't your stuff. That ain't what God had for you.
Right. That's not for you. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, because I've never, I guess on every level, sometimes you do be like, man, I wish I had that. You know what I'm saying?
Motivation.
But
motivation.
for the most part, I never feel like, oh man, she got
I ain't
that.
never
I
felt
wish
that.
I had you. I should have had. I never have
tell you
felt
something.
that.
And I
People
actually
be
feel
around
sorry
her.
for people that feel like that.
People
because
be
it's
around
like-
here questioning God about your blessings. They do. They be around here questioning God
Why
about
she
your
get
blessings.
No.
Because it was for me.
Right.
It wasn't
And
for
if you focus on you could get yours.
Exactly.
There
Because
you
God got something for
Probably
you
had
too.
something better than what I got, but you
had.
too busy
Busy
focused
on
on mine.
Yeah.
So you ain't got yours.
You came here to preach today, then.
Right.
Just saying.
And that's important too. And I think sometimes like because I'm trying to figure out how you doing all these things. Right?
We about to get into that. Because
But I do think that is part of the flow.
It's
Getting
part of
in
the
the
flow.
flow of things because it's like when you figure out that thing that is for you, and it's still hard work.
Oh.
But it seems like it just flows a lot easier.
Because you and your
Because it was for real
Yeah.
for me.
You and your lane. So how do we get here, right? So we nurse practitioner, and we had just a little bit of conversation before the camera came on about working at every level of nursing. So take us back to the beginning
Of my career.
before.
Okay.
Yes, nursing, was that always going to be it, or how did you find yourself in it?
So I'll dig a little bit before I got there. Okay, so I'm from East St. Louis, as we know. I was brought up in a one-parent household. Me and my 3 siblings. I didn't always have the best upbringing, right? So I was never taught about college. I was never taught about jobs. I was never taught about anything. You know, you wake up, you play, you have your thing. The future was never something that was discussed. But eventually you get older and you have to realize it's coming.
Yes, the future is coming.
So when I get in school, when I got in high school, I think I started seeing my friends with like bigger families and people that was real into them, you know. So I started hearing about colleges and stuff, just hearing them talk about it. Because at first I didn't even know what college was. I didn't even know that was a thing or none of that. So I always worked. Before I worked, I always braided hair, and then when I was old enough to work, I worked at White Castle and Bush Stadium. I was the only 11th grader, you know, with 3 jobs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 'cause
I
I took care
had
of
2.
me.
I had 3. I had 2.
I was working. But because I took care of me.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't able to go to VP first and stuff. I had to go to work.
Yep.
You know, so friends having fun, I gotta go to work. I catch y'all when I catch y'all. So then I get 18. I needed a place to stay. I went with somebody to fill out for some apartments. I got it. I didn't know I was living in the projects, right? I was though.
You say you
She
didn't
didn't
know
know
what?
she was
I
living in
didn't
the
know.
projects.
Because I was catching the bus and I asked somebody, like, can you tell me what stop to get off at these apartments? And she was like, you talking about the projects? I said, oh, I live in the projects?
That's interesting.
I didn't know. I was an 18-year-old who needed a place to stay. And I filled out for these places and they gave
Oh,
it
okay.
to me.
This is when you go out and get your own
Yes,
spot.
this is when I go get my own.
Okay.
So eventually I ended up pregnant and just stuff had to happen. I ended up signing up CNA school. Didn't really know much about it when I did it, but I knew I had to do something, right? I've always had I got to do something inside of me. Something more. Because at this time I was working at the pilot at Subway.
Yep.
So my CNA years, I became a CNA.
Okay.
Like I think any CNA can define with me. We are like, oh, I'm not doing this.
Forever.
This is not for me. I cannot do this. What are y'all talking about?
Right. And you kind of fell into it, so you didn't even know what to expect.
So God works. You know what I'm saying? My friend asked me to take her to apply to this place to apply for something. She was there, and the lady said, do you want to apply too? I said, sure. Why not? You know, this is CNA school. I got in, she did.
That's so interesting.
I got in, she did. This was her dream.
Divine still for me though.
Yeah, it happened for me though, right? And it worked. So I did that, and I stayed as a CNA for 5 years. But you know, you're the lowest man on the totem pole. Yep. So people treat you a certain kind of way,
Right.
And I remember telling this nurse, I'm gonna go back to school and do what you do, so I can show you how to do it properly.
Oh wow. Okay.
So at that moment, I enrolled in LPN school.
Okay.
And I became an LPN. And that was in 2013. I got 2 kids now. So even going to LPN school.
It's very intense. I had a friend.
Oh my God. You got to put all that in 11 months.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I had a friend, she actually had to quit. She quit everything and just went to LPN school. It was intense.
I had to. And I had
what
these
was
2
the name
kids.
of the school? What around here did you go to?
I went to Beck.
Yep,
It's in Redwood. That's where I
Redwood.
went.
Yep.
Because I'm like, I got to do something for these kids. I got to do something. And then that lady there, I think God was like, let me make her mad. Because because if I make her mad, she gonna move.
Some people think that
Let me make
the
her
whole
mad.
time is one of God's plan.
I make her mad. That good lady made me mad. She didn't answer that call light. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school and do your so I can show you how to do your job. And I was real petty with it because when I graduated, I went back to that job for her and she was not there anymore. So I didn't take that job. I know, right? I was for real. But when I was going to school, I couldn't really work like that. I had to do something. And at that point, that's when bundles was becoming real popular. They wasn't there yet.
They wasn't there
yet.
Yeah.
I was like literally one of the first person in our area selling hair.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I gotta do something.
Oh, really?
So women love hair.
That because it's 2013.
This 2013.
Yeah, that was starting to. It was
just kind of the name. It was coming out, but it wasn't there.
out like that.
No, you had to go on the internet somewhere and order something. It wasn't happening.
But I started seeing in Chicago girls starting this space in 2013.
That's
and
when it
literally
started.
blink of an eye making like 20K a month.
But this is interesting because this guy who's a friend of my husband's, he actually said to me that we should start like a drop shipping thing with hair on the internet, and this was a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
I was like, yeah, let's
A lot of
try
people
it.
didn't. People thought I was like, what are you doing?
So you're in LPN school, you got 2 children, and you're like, I can't work, I gotta sell something.
I gotta do something.
I gotta do something.
And I didn't wear weave either. So let's remind y'all, I didn't wear weave. I did not.
So this real out of
This is real out of my. But that's why I'm telling you how God works. Why am I selling weave? I don't even wear weave, right? But the people at my job wore weave.
Oh, right.
So I told them, I was seeing they still, I want to start selling her. Would y'all support me? Give you a good, they all bought some.
Oh, that's
Instagram was just starting to pop.
Yeah.
then.
Oh, wow.
I went on Instagram. You know, I'll be on Nicki Minaj and posting my stuff under. I just started getting customers from out of town. I had customers in every state I can think of.
So where did you get the hair from?
I found me a vendor.
Okay.
So I went through the process.
It wasn't even easy to find vendors.
It was
back
not.
then.
And I got some CNA money, right? So this is not money. Girl, look. It was. That's how you know what God has for you is for you.
Yeah.
Because that was 2013. It's 2014, and my company is still going. I still 2024. Sorry,
Yes,
right. This is 2024,
Yeah.
and we still here and ain't left. We ain't went nowhere. And I do it by myself. I don't have a partner. I didn't have no startup fee. I didn't have no man saying you cute. Here goes the money. Had none of that. I used my own money. For $8.
But I also think you recognize a need though, because
I saw.
let's think about this
Yes.
too, because that's a visionary, right? I don't wear weave. So many people like I want to follow my passion and go that way, but you have to study the market and see what's happening. I don't wear weave, right? Well, I mean,
They
that's
wear
what you
weave.
said. They wear weave. Y'all gonna buy some from me? I just found a vendor. I'm about to make this money.
Right.
That's visionary.
That was my exact thought. And I knew, I said, women will spend money on their hair. Especially if they can reuse this hair.
But it also was a risk.
It was
because
definitely a risk.
You making CNA money. You got 2 kids, right?
And I ain't working full time because I was in school.
Right.
So it was definitely, when I tell you, it's a boy who went to CNA school LPN school. He said, girl, I thought you were selling drugs the way we'd be pulling up and you'd be popping the trunk giving people hair. It was crazy. Like, I did. Where we meeting at? We moving. And then I was
Just a
made
different
I made it
kind of
I made it convenient. You know we pay for convenience.
Yeah, we pay for convenience.
What's up? Where we pulling up at?
Right.
I was pulling up to where we on our way to school and I'm stopping. Meeting somebody to get their hair.
Getting them their hair, yes. Because
Yes.
I pay for a lot of convenience right now.
I do too. Trust me.
do.
Walmart just
Everybody
delivered my
does.
groceries.
Look out.
Yes.
DoorDash.
Yes, everything. It's the best
You
thing.
gonna pay $10 for somebody to deliver something?
Actually, you
$10?
some that don't even cost $10.
And I'm
You
giving
sick.
you a tip. Because I'm
They
so
was
happy
tipping
that
me.
you got every single thing that I asked you to get.
And I might give you a free mirror or some free lashes or something. You get what I'm saying?
You
Like,
serve me your clients.
I made it work because I had to. I was still in LP in school when I moved out the projects. I hadn't graduated yet. I was able to move up to Belleville without it.
Yeah.
I bought my charger, cash money, and then I had a Camaro. I was still in school. I had not graduated, so no.
What made
nurse
you
money
stay in
had
school?
came
Because
yet.
at that point, somebody would
Yeah, it's
say,
like, that's
I'm
a
making a
success.
lot of money.
Right.
I don't need to be an LP.
So I tell everybody, because people always say, you got the career and you got that. My career is happening regardless. This check is coming around the clock regardless if people decide they don't want to wear bundles no more.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Right.
And this is my passion. I love helping
that.
people.
Okay.
This is what I do. And my beauty business is like my alter ego.
I like that.
Like, this is Tierra, and this is whoever the boss y'all feel like she is. This is my alter ego, my Sasha Fierce.
Right.
This is my alter ego.
Okay.
Right? So I needed both
You need
to
both.
get that feeling. That
And if somebody's watching, that can be encouraging, because a lot of times we think we have to choose between them. Right? It's like, because people ask me all the time, I'm a corporate trainer, and then I do real estate and I train agents, and they're always asking me, when are you gonna leave? When are you gonna leave? And it's like they kind of go hand in hand with who I am in a way. For me, real estate is all about building wealth and leaving something for my child. And corporate training is me, because I just talk all day, and I like to design and create.
and we're good at it.
We're
great at it. What am I leaving for? Right? I went a few years without working my jobs, but I went back.
You went back.
You know, because it's who I am. It's what I do.
So, but that's a lot though. You have 2 children. You're running a.
I have 3 children now.
3 children.
Yeah.
At that time, it was 2.
Yes,
Right?
when I walked at RN graduation, I had a 3rd belly.
Okay, so we haven't even got to the RN.
We ain't even got it.
Okay.
I did every step. I did CNA, LPN, RN. I got my bachelor's, then my master's in nurse practitioner.
Right.
What is going through your mind? Is there any struggle like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm pulling up on people with hair. I got to study these signs, and I got to change diapers.
Yes.
Like,
I got to do it. It's never, I don't know nothing about I can't do it. I can't. That doesn't even go to me. I have to do it. You know, for some people it may be a choice to do these things. For me, you have to. You don't have what other people have. You don't got nobody backing you. You don't got great kids, father, great. Let's be clear. But I'm talking about me.
You.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me. You got to.
Yes.
It's not even an option for you. This is something you have to do. But more than anything, I had my daughter when I was 20 years old. That was my first child. And more than having to do it for me, I need this little girl to know, no matter where you from, no matter your walk of life, you got this. You can do this.
Yeah.
So it's always the naysayers. When I tell you, I heard I was selling drugs. I heard I was doing this. I heard so many people wanted me not to make it. They don't even know you put gas in my tank. You feel the heck out of me. So
I think it's because sometimes people just can't see good for others because they just can't see good for themselves.
And then they can't see this little girl from the Alpha Plazas doing
That one
this.
right
You
there.
was from the Alpha Plazas. What are you talking about? You're going to be a nurse practitioner. What are you talking about? You're going to have this business that has made over $1 million. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That doesn't go with you. Why you think you can do that?
And we from St. Louis, you ain't supposed to be making
You
no,
ain't supposed to
make
be.
$1 million. Are you crazy?
What?
Not legally.
That business has brought in over $1 million.
Wow. I believe it though. It's a multi-billion-dollar
It is.
business.
And we're talking about this little small girl. I only just got a store location 2 years ago. So I was always meeting you at the gas station, pulling up. This wasn't that.
Gotcha. So we go to LPN school, you graduate, and you go back and try to give it to the lady.
Girl, she wasn't there.
I know, but that's what
Guy was like, not today, Miss Petty.
No.
See, that's what I want to ask you too, because you have said a lot about the negative people, like the lady at the job, the naysayers saying that you selling drugs, you this, that. But so have you had anyone who was the positive person that was pushing you forward, that gave you some tools for your toolbox?
Well, I would say I had some people who was encouraging me, for sure. Because a lot of people even around me didn't even know enough, about it to give. But I do have like some aunts and cousins and stuff who was like, girl, gone.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody stop you.
Yeah.
They were positive. If you need a babysitter, we got you. So I did have that. My kids, like I said, their family is great. So I had babysitters and things, but...
And sometimes we have to remember to highlight them because the negative can sometimes sound louder
than it is.
Oh,
because they are louder.
Yes.
And we can turn our focus to like all the haters, which they're gonna be there. They're
gonna be there regardless,
right?
and you use them.
But we also have these people. Wow, they don't know nothing about the hair business.
They don't know what I'm doing,
baby,
but they don't know
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
And they hated it though because I've always been a private person. So a lot of times, even when I was in school, nobody never knew I was in school until the ending was coming, and I was talking about graduation.
Why do you do that?
I have to protect it.
Protect it.
I have to protect.
Are you protecting you?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. God said you ain't gotta be just be my testimony when it happens.
When it happens.
So I don't need you praying against what I got, even though it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ain't gonna work. You know how many people say, "Oh, you got 2 kids. You shouldn't be. Why you going back to RN school? Just chill." I don't want to hear that. Don't even worry about it.
So you go out and now you're LPN. How does that look? How long are you?
It looked good. It felt great.
It felt great.
It felt great. And I still got my business. I'm an LPN now. You know, you're a nurse. But you get in there and then people want to act like, you just an LPN. That's not really a nurse. Because I said I didn't want to be no RN. Remind you, if you ask any of my friends, I just want to be an LPN. I don't want to be no RN.
Yeah.
For what? So now y'all playing with me, right?
Now you playing with me.
Okay. You playing with me. Cool. Because I can't give certain medicines or start IVs.
Yeah, because LPN can do a lot though.
We can. And when I tell you, so many people want to be LPN after me because they saw. I let them know you don't have to stay in a nursing home. Nothing wrong with being in a nursing home if that's where you want to work at. But I was working in the hospital. I worked in doctor's offices. I did behavioral health. I did a lot as an LPN.
Yep.
But you were limited. And if you know anything about me, I don't like boxes. I don't want to be in no box.
Right.
You know, you can't do this, you can't give that, you can't.
And you know you could do the job. So it just because you're in there, you're like, I could do this. I see them, they're doing it. But the state requires you to do these things. So let me just go back and get this piece of paper so these people could be quiet.
I went on back.
And you go back.
And did RN school. Look, I didn't work. My business allowed me not to work. I focused. And I did it. And a lot happened at that point. I became a single mother. At first I had a partner. I became single while I was in RN school. Life was life and I lost a lot of family. Stuff was happening. But I was like, if I stop, then I'll go back to where I was at. You go back from where you started. If you keep going, then
you can go further.
A little step further.
Right.
So going back was an option. Get done. Like I said, when I walked that graduation, I'm 5 months pregnant. People didn't know I was pregnant. I don't tell people stuff. Don't worry about it. I did it.
You did it.
And it was like, girl, I did that. My kids watched me do it.
How did it feel?
It felt great. I didn't even know I could be a nurse. Nobody around me was a nurse.
Because you, like you said, you had never even heard about college.
No.
At all.
Right.
I heard it at school. It wasn't talked about in my home. It wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a thing. So it's like, man, I've risen through these ranks and I never even had anything told me to do this.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I talk about a lot when I talk to people about just their children. Exposure.
Yes.
Exposure is huge.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, let them try this. Take them here, expose them to all different types of sports, music,
everything.
I'm telling you,
cultures, everything.
A 6th grade trip literally planted the seed for me. We're going to Chicago in 6th grade and seeing all those big old lights and those buildings. I was like, I gotta move here.
Yeah.
I came home saying that, and I tried to go to college there, but because of a 6th grade classroom trip, that was exposure. Say, hey, there's a world out there
beyond
that you can go see.
I didn't know nothing but them apple plazas. Let's be clear. That's what we was doing, and then I grew up in Washington Park. That's all I knew, and it was fun for us. So we didn't know those things. And maybe my mom don't know. I didn't know why she didn't tell me. Maybe she didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times, that's one of the things that we have to realize. People only know what they know.
What they know.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds simple.
No,
but
it's
everything.
If you haven't had any exposure,
you can't
you have to think about we had a time where there isn't social media.
No, nothing. Right?
And you only know what's inside your walls, your neighborhood, and what's on television. What they decide to show you. So you don't pick up your phone and scroll TikTok and see
none of that
this or So I think we always have to think about that. Right now, our kids are exposed to way more positive and negative to it. Right.
It's a good and a bad side.
It's a good and bad to side, but we never had that. And even as a business owner, you said I was on social media, on Nicki Minaj and them page joint. Distribution as a black business owner was always also kept from us a lot, right? You can't put your product over here. You can't be in this state. But social media allows black people to become millionaires as business owners because you have you can get out there
and it gives you that you can reach these people. Well, we never had access to.
We never had
at first.
We never had
that.
So now you're a registered nurse.
Now I'm an RN.
So
and I was done then too. I was done. I was done. Every time I was done.
Every time it was
y'all,
done, God was like, you ain't
God
done.
was like, you not, you.
So
girl,
what
I
they tell you couldn't do as an RN, girl? What they
They
say?
act like you need your bachelor's. You need your bachelor's degree to make it seem like you got some sense.
Right.
To make it seem that you're educated, you need to put some more
Letters behind your name. Yeah.
But that's a good point. I think that people need to know that, because I was actually just telling someone a little while ago that you can be a registered nurse as a, you don't have to have a BSN to be a registered nurse.
And they only pay you 60 cents more if they pay you anything.
Is that right?
They ain't
It's not a leap of faith.
No.
No, but that nurse practitioner pays.
That is a leap of faith. Look at that.
That nurse practitioner pays something different.
And the autonomy with it is
Yes,
crazy.
exactly. 'Cause
Like,
you can almost have your own
I
practice.
can.
Yeah,
And that's
okay.
my goal. That's my goal.
Already.
Okay.
It's gonna be around like the trends that's happening in the market right now. Yeah. I'm starting to see these medical spas pop up.
Yes.
Yes.
I like primary care though.
You like
Because it's
primary?
not enough. Our people are not educated enough on hypertension, on diabetes, on health, on getting colonoscopies, on getting mammograms. I want to stick to that because we don't know. Yeah, medical spas, cute, all that. The money's there, good. But I want to help you just prolong your life.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because I just looked at a spa. I was like, oh,
They make money.
I said, wait a minute. They said $350 for a lymphatic. What is it
A
called?
lymphatic massage.
It was $350 for 1 hour.
Yeah. You get your shot of Ozempic for $400. I saw it.
That's crazy.
They clown, and I ain't mad at them.
Clowning, right?
I'm not mad at them.
Yeah,
when I tell you,
I'm not lymphatic massage, whatever. It's not happening for me. 350.
350. I said, what?
I'm gonna go take a bath and just rub on.
Wait a minute. Get you one of those little rolls.
But I love that for them.
I love that for them.
They got the good kind. They're special.
Right, we're not gonna hate on nobody check.
Right, when I say, girl, get it.
Get it. But I ain't got it to get it.
Right, now we ain't
I'm
gonna
gonna go to massage you later.
But
I
love the avenues that has opened for us. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
So I went back, I got that bachelor's degree, I put that BSN behind my name. But I was chasing a graduation. And then in high school, I didn't get to walk in my graduation because I had a bike. It took that from me.
Yeah.
Gave me my diploma. I didn't get to walk. And then I didn't care. But as I got older, I wanted that. I wanted to walk at a graduation with a cap and gown. I wanted my kids to see graduation pictures with cap and gowns. LP and RN, it was done at like private schools where the graduation was at church.
Yeah.
I ain't had no cap and gown. My BSN, I can have that. Until COVID decided to enter.
Oh no! Are you serious?
Yes. Graduation was set at Washington. I'm going to Washington D.C. to graduate. Cap and gown. That's where graduation was at. COVID said it's not happening.
Oh wow!
I was so heartbreaking.
Wow.
I don't know what to do. My friend, she lives in California. She knew what a graduation meant to me. She put together a surprise, like drive-through thing at my house from California because she knew I wanted that. Like, I'm like, what?
Wow.
So, okay, let me get my master's then. I'm going to walk.
I'm having a graduation.
My kids is going to see me with this cap and gown and this hat on.
Okay.
But if you're going to get your master's, you might as well go be a nurse practitioner. Because you like your autonomy. You don't like people telling you what to do.
Right.
And because you love this. I love what I do. Even when I was an RN, I worked at the emergency room in Touche. I was born in Touche. It's where we from. People gonna talk about it, whatever. But if people that care about the community truly does not work there, then what are you talking about?
Right.
How are you talking about a place you didn't try to help?
Right.
People are not coming there. They don't know it because of where it's at. Because they don't care about the people. Because they don't care about the population. Like, those people don't deserve great health care too.
They do. They do.
That's why people are like, oh, they need the clothes. They don't have cardiology. We don't have it because the people don't want to work there. Yeah. It's not because they don't have they don't want it, but you can't give something that's not happening.
Yeah.
Now you pack Touche up and move it to O'Fallon and watch they get cardiology and neurology. But because the neighborhood we in, they already want to get rid of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would they add something positive to it? So I'm gonna add my positive stuff to it.
I love that. Oh my God.
So where you at? You were actually working at Touche?
I was at Touche for a few years. I was an ER nurse person. I left as a house supervisor.
Okay.
But I still work in East St. Louis now.
But you made a good point. Like, I think people need to understand that. Like, you say the people in this community need the quality care.
They deserve it.
Well, why don't the people come back to the community and work in the place to give them quality?
They love to tell you, oh, I'm from East St. Louis and I made it.
Yeah, but they don't come back.
But they don't come back. And to each his own. I'm not telling you to come back.
That if it's not your
If it's not your
ministry,
thing, but that's my thing.
But I think that is more and more people that are coming back. Whether they live there or not, they're coming to serve.
Yeah.
Because I have been working with several different organizations in East St. Louis, and you see a lot of East St. Louis that live everywhere else, but like we come up like
I don't live there, but
I live in St. Louis, but that's what I say. I live in St. Louis. I always say I live in St. Louis, but all of my work is in East St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Because we do care about the community, and it is like this. You do sometimes get into these little fights almost.
Yeah, because it be feeling exhausting, right? Because you're still combating a certain mental thought process of group, right? Because I be thinking about, I told Ricky, my husband, that I wanted to do a few flips in East St. Louis, right? Because that's my space. I don't know nothing about healthcare. I know about real estate, you know. But I also know that sometimes it can be exhausting dealing with with certain spaces.
It is. And I think that's when I just keep remembering why I'm doing it. Why I'm doing it. Because I can't control them, right? You can't control that. You only can control you and remember why you're doing it. But even like with my hair business, it allowed me to, I have prom sponsorships I do yearly. And mainly it's
prom sponsorship. Okay.
Yes, for senior proms. I have sponsor. I've been doing, I think I started this in 2016.
Okay.
So they write essays, I pick some kids and I sponsor them to their proms. Mostly has been East St. Louis Senior High School and Cahokia High School. But I do get like some Belleville, some other ones. So it's just surrounding areas.
What does that look like? What does that sponsorship
Whatever they
look like?
need. I've got dresses made, we've gotten shoes. I have makeup artists who I pair with, who do their makeup, who do their hair, like whatever they need to make their prom great. That's what we do, and people helps me. Like it's my platform, but I have people like I'll do 2 faces for you. I'll do a hair for you. You know, I'll do all. They're donating their services to help because these kids gotta know it's somebody out here who cares.
Right.
Yeah. Because I didn't know that. I paid for my own prom out of my own pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot to think about when you're already dealing with that. So these kids gotta know it's somebody else care. It's somebody that really care about my education, so I can focus. You know, me looking cute. So let me focus on my final, cause she gonna make sure that's done.
Yep. One less thing to
worry about.
It's you know you gotta be fly for prom.
You have to be.
This is black culture. I don't care what people trying to say about, they doing it. This is.
Let's think about this, because I had to check myself one time when I called myself like, oh my God, y'all doing a lot for prom, you know? I had to check myself because think about this. Sometimes that's the last time a lot of people gonna dress up like that for a very long time.
And the first time. And the last time.
The first and the last.
And the last. Yep.
So do it big.
Yeah.
Do it great. And I've had, like I said, Miss Rosemary, I don't know if you know Miss Rosemary, she make dresses. She made my Cahokia prom dress. So she has made dresses for girls for me. I have a lot of like high-end makeup artists like Brandy Leonard. There's a lot of them, like they donate their services. Esther them and those girls, they're quiet about it. They just gonna inbox me and tell me.
Right. Because some people don't do it for the for the noise.
No. But the kids be wanting it. They be like, are you gonna post me? Yeah, if you want to be posted, I'll post you. If you don't, you never have to say anybody.
Right.
But I usually acknowledge the sponsors that help, you know, and whatever. But I love it because we giving back.
Right.
We
and that's what big part of the thing. Like you live in a space where you have just enough for you, right? We've all lived in that space. And I think that when God promotes you, you will start living in a space of more than enough. The more than enough is for you and your space, it's also to give back. Like here here. You know, you shouldn't be struggling to buy a prom dress,
No.
right? You know, if I can do something, then
if I can. And my thing is, why bottle up what you can do? God, I know one thing. I know. I tell everybody, I'm not the most church going person and none of that. But I know for a known fact, without a doubt, I wouldn't be who I am if God did not order my steps. And that is something I know that is not a doubt. People be like, "Oh, you did that. God did that."
God did that.
So how dare God help me and I don't help nobody else if I can? How dare you?
Dare.
How dare you? Like, I'm literally, how dare you? You're supposed to be a testimony for God.
You do. I think that's part of, I would say, you get to enjoy the fruits, but the biggest thing is letting people know that, like, God is real, and if he's done it for me, he can do it for you, but I got to let you know that he did it
I got to show you.
Right, I got to be
when I tell you, there's nothing I've never laid down in my bed and had a conversation with God, and it didn't happen. There's nothing that never happened. And it could be like, God, this test tomorrow, I'm not ready. I promise you, Lord, let me, like, I'm telling you. But
give me some grace. Give me the test that got everything on it that I knew.
God, please. Matter of fact, answer these questions for me. Put it in my head.
I swear I did that a few times.
You got serious. And then you turned around.
And I mad.
And passed the test.
Yeah.
One day, I was late. I took my test early. And I had to go to court. So I left school. I went to court. So I don't know what's going on in school, right? But I walk in and the teacher like, there she is, and everybody like, and they was like, I'm like, what? You're the only person made 100 on the test. Everybody's complaining because they failed. Tell them what you did.
Pray.
When I tell you, they think I'm crying. And I was like, God, thank you. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Things happen that always show me that it was God. Like, things have happened that has always shown me that it was God. Even when I took my boards for a nurse practitioner, that's the hardest boards I ever took.
Yeah, because we're going to get to that story too. Because I heard it's not easy. And
you said it's not easy.
Right.
You're right.
I've known people, even for the RN part, to have to take the test about 3 times before they pass that. No.
And we still in that parking lot, we pray and we go.
Okay, so you're here, you say, all right, if I'm going to go back and get a master's, I'm going to just go ahead and get the nurse practitioner.
Because look at what that means for me. I'm a provider. I am a healthcare, I am a provider. I do the same thing the doctor do.
Yeah.
Except he went to medical school and I did.
Yeah. Right, and you don't have all those student loans like he got.
So, and I don't do surgery. So that's how I don't do surgeries.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't need to be called. No, just call me Tierra. I tell my patients all the time. We best friends at this point. You is trusting me with your care. Just call me Tierra. Just call me that.
So you become a nurse practitioner. You said that was one of the hardest tests. Woo. Tell us about that.
Girl, like, it was 3 hours. It was.
How long is the program to become a?
The program for my nurse practitioner was 2 years. So a lot happened.
Are you still? Remind me. I know with the RN you had your business and you didn't have to work. When you moved from RN to nurse practitioner and you're going to school, are you still working?
A little bit. I did part time at 2 shifts as a house supervisor. Okay. I was in the ER first and I went part time as a house supervisor. So I did work overnight. I worked some. Because, you know, we do 12-hour shifts, so you do 2 12s and that's 48 hours. So I was able to do that. And my kids are bigger now, so I was able to do that. But when I say life on me so bad. So my relationship with my dad is like most people's relationship with their mother. During this process, my dad got diagnosed with cancer. I'm the baby, but me and him, I do all his care. So all this happened, like radiation Monday through Friday, chemo every Tuesdays. We're doing this, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break. I need to stop this because, and he was like, no, you ain't. I'm like, Daddy, I gotta focus on you. So life just got to life and beyond, man. It was crazy. So I took a break for 2 semesters, and then God was like, it's time to go back. It's time to go back because you still have to go back. So I went back in the midst of all this, and like my dad, he wanted it. He wanted that for me. He was like, it was crazy, like. Because my daddy's sick. Forget school. I'm already at RN. Like, chill out.
You're not broke. You got the business.
You're okay.
You're okay.
And that's what but you know how many people tell me that, what are you doing? You have this. Why are you steady?
Yeah, but you love this.
I love this. What I do.
This is about you more than
it is. So it was like, oh my God. Because I started in 2020. He got sick in 2021. So stuff got to happen. And I finally went back, I think in 2021. And I finished, like, I finished. I'm still like you finished. I'm still in disbelief, right? Right now at this point, girl, you are a nurse practitioner. That's the highest thing you can be as a nurse.
Right.
Like you are a nurse
They
practitioner.
cannot come back and tell you that you cannot do this.
Can't nobody take this
You
from me.
can't put this order in. You can't do that.
And
You might
feel
can
like
come
that
take my
today?
car. You might can come take my house because you might say I didn't pay my property tax or whatever. You cannot take my education from me. You cannot take it from me. You didn't give it to me. I worked hard for this. You can't take it.
So you still feel like that now? Like
I still feel like this.
But you
Every
know what?
order, every diagnosis I do, every patient I see.
Yeah.
When I see my picture going around, because it goes around on the internet, because they had me in a monitor. Like when I see this, I'm like, girl, that is you. And it's crazy because if you hear how I talk regular. I don't talk like them. I don't look like them. I don't have the upbringing they have. So how dare I be in their space being what they are?
But see, I think what you said is important because I think that sometimes that's how you know that you are in this space that you're supposed to be.
I told you it was
right,
a feeling.
right. But then also like what you just said, you like I still can't believe it, and it's like, and I take that as it's still when you see it, it's still like one like if it does fill you up.
It fills me up.
Yeah, and sometimes we were chasing like these little temporary things, and like when you do something, and then that thing within a year or so, you like, man,
and I see
that
it
wasn't
now.
where you supposed
Since
to
COVID,
be.
I see so many nurses and people on Insta. You know, I see it every day. This ain't for me. I'm leaving nursing. I've never not thought it was for me.
Right, because you
I've never not thought it was COVID. I was in the ER. I was at 2 straight ER through COVID.
Oh
and
my
I remember
God.
a doctor telling me, this was a doctor who said, I didn't sign up for this. I said, this is exactly what you signed up for. They talk to us about this in nursing school. They talk about pandemics in school.
So it's funny you say that, Tierra, because I work for Chicago Department of Public Health.
Okay.
I used to for 6.5 years. I worked in emergency preparedness.
Yes.
And they prepared us for pandemics.
You are prepared for pandemics.
But I'm going to tell you, I remember it happening, saying, I didn't sign up for this.
Because you never thought it was going to happen.
Because I'm going to tell you, on my first day, I'm a trainer. So I could be in any industry. You can take me to health, you can take me to hair, wherever trainers go, and we learn the space so that we can train and do whatever we need to do. And I remember on my first day that he was doing his spiel because they was writing a new plan, and you know, in the end of the day, we supposed to get medicine into the hands of the masses.
Okay.
And his report at the end, he was like, yeah, and if everything goes straight, only 3 million people would die. I said, what? Your plan? That's the plan? That's the plan? Like, that's the best case scenario?
Yes.
I remember,
Only.
I remember calling Ricky like,
3 million?
I don't know if I'm at the right job.
I don't know
I don't know if this is here.
Yeah.
But I remember us sitting at that table, and when it happened, so many people were afraid. And he said, this is what we paid y'all for. This is what you signed up for. Y'all got to go to work.
If I could ever be, I was never afraid. I never was afraid.
Really?
I never called off. I never was
called
afraid.
off, but I
I'm
was
just saying,
afraid.
but people were. No, people
Yeah.
called off. People FMLA to death.
People left.
I prayed. I put on my stuff, and I did it.
Oh, wow.
Because yes, you were. I was
You
told
were.
about this in school.
You were.
It doesn't happen.
We did a
But I was
full-scale
told that it could
exercise with the federal
It
government.
was a challenge for me.
A year before.
It was. I took that challenge on,
Yeah.
and I said I'm gonna do it. and I'm gonna do it the best way I can. Now my job better have everything I'm supposed to have. Every mask, every hand, have everything I'm supposed. You know,
Yeah.
I watched so many people come in and we worked on that had COVID. They didn't make it. Young people watched it, and that's where the anxiety started coming. One day it was like a 45-year-old man. He didn't make it, and that's when the doctor. We was in the room debriefing. He was taking stuff. He's like, I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you did. I did. We did. So if we run and leave them, who?
And you were working in a black hospital at that time, and the black community had been hit.
Where I'm born and raised at, where my family still live at. So at any moment, let me tell you something. Every time I heard it was a 60-some-year-old black man, I just was praying it was my daddy, because my daddy lived in that era. Like, and you know, he got cancer, he got lung cancer. So it's like. But when I knew I love this. You can't tell me I don't love this. I got a business. I can leave. I don't have to.
You still showing up there every day.
Still was there. Still. I had a house supervisor who said she wasn't coming down to the ER because somebody was down with COVID.
Who?
Our house supervisor. The house supervisor has to bring us medicine that we can't access sometimes. She said, I'm not coming down there. Y'all have a patient with COVID. You're not doing what? Like she was upstairs, she wasn't coming down to the ER.
Oh, wow.
Management wasn't, the big heads was not walking through the ER at that time. They might send us a pizza or tell us we could have free lunch. They was not walking through there because they knew these folks got COVID.
And that's horrible because you're not supporting the staff. You want the staff to be there, but you help the community, but you're not right.
When I tell y'all, I realize when I love what I do, and that was it.
That was it. That was a big challenge. Yes. So we make it through COVID. We make it through COVID, and now the hair business is still going.
Great.
And you opened up a beauty bar.
I did.
Tell us about that.
Well, first I opened up my shop for hair. At first I only had a shop for hair. So I opened up my beauty. We're in 2024.
Okay.
So I opened up my shop for her. My beauty salon 2021. So 2020. Oh wow. I opened this up in COVID. I opened up
the
my
place, and you're saying this is where they can go now, so you don't have to drive around. They
yes.
just go
the location for her.
For hair. Okay.
Set hours. They can get it. We open. It was great. It was great. It was great.
In COVID.
In COVID. It was great, and then it was like I wanted something, like I told you, it's a feeling I need.
Feeling.
I don't know it's done. It ain't a checkbook. It's not a check mark. I mean, it's a feeling that I need to have. So I go to open something else, and my dad ended up calling me. Actually, he was like, "This place, I saw this building. Go check it out." My daddy, what? I got the price. I'm like, Daddy, what are you talking about? And then they say you gotta pay all the bills. I say like a house. Like a house. But my daddy told me. Yeah. I was like, Dad, I don't know. Yeah, I got the money. It's at the point. And he was like, I'll give you the money. My daddy, he just got a fixed income. He was like, I'll give you the money. I want you to really have it.
Wow.
I was like, I'm not taking your money. And then somebody told me you have to take it. God put it on him to give it to you. So if he don't fulfill out his mission, then you're interrupting his blessing. I said, so I have to take my daddy's money? I took it. Right? But I was just looking for another bigger space to do her. I kid you not. I'm riding down West Main past Sonic, almost at the place where the thing is, and it's like God said to me, put some more people in. I said, okay. Put some more people in with you. So I called I'm like, okay. Because it was only me. I'm alone.
Yeah.
I called my friend. She does her home. I say, you've been brave for a long time. I say, you already got the house. I said, I'm about to open the shop. Will you be in there? She said, only for you. I knew somebody else that did her calling. I'll do it for you. So now we have a beauty bar.
We got a beauty bar.
It was not intentional for me to get a beauty bar.
Okay.
That came to me riding down the street about to pass that place up.
Gotcha.
That was
this
not
is the place where you're
it.
going to open up the hair.
My own.
Okay.
Yep.
So is the hair store and the beauty bar together? Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. It was not supposed to happen. I was not thinking about that. It happened. And it did.
But you took action.
I did. When I say it, but it all was so anointed. Even the name, I was playing with names, and then it popped in my head like 805 Beauty Bar. My birthday's August 5th. Okay. So it popped in 805. So everything just be happening, and I go with it.
But I was about to say, so I'm a very spiritual person, right? And I believe God does put things in front of people, and it's like, hey. But I also think you have to give yourself the credit for doing the work, because sometimes people like, yeah, God told me, but they don't take action. So the action part is as much as important as the spiritual part too.
I agree, and I think God only put it on you because it was for you. Stop sitting down on something that was for you. But I'll see you being a real estate, and I'm like, well, I want to go do that. That's what God told you.
Look,
so
I know.
Mad that it didn't work out
real estate for God, because I ain't next to that.
But I'm mad that it didn't work out because it's working for you. Yeah. What do you mean it's not working for me?
Right. But I think that it's important what both of you guys just said, because like you said, God is telling you these things. She said it's important that you act on it. But the whole thing about it is stop there. God is telling you these things. Everybody hears. Everybody has heard something. Whether you believe in God or not, tell you do this.
Do this. Just right. And I said it was God. Maybe it was other Tierra. I don't know. Maybe I got 20
but
you might have said it. I think it was God.
I believe you that it's God. but
You know, some
saying,
people
but-
like, it's
but
just errand
right.
stuff. I don't care.
Exactly,
I'm
and
doing
I
it.
think that that's the problem. A lot of people just like, oh, they were just a passing thought.
Yeah,
and
but
they
it's
just
not.
move
It wasn't.
on.
But see, even and you want to know why?
Exactly.
They don't really. This is where you got to get closer to your relationship.
I say you have to get
Yeah.
because then you will know when it is.
Well, you know.
Because it's that people think, well, how do you hear? How do you hear? I'm like, it's really like a small still. It's not loud.
I can't explain it. It's there.
It's just a feeling, and once you know that feeling,
You know.
like,
You become
yeah,
a
this is it.
I'm in a car by myself, minding my little business, driving down West Main.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, and remind you, like I said, I don't go to church. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm up here preaching so my pastor can be happy for me. No, I'm telling you what happened. I will listen to the trap music with you, trust me.
Me too.
Yeah.
I am a regular person.
Me too.
I am that girl.
And I have to remind people, because if you follow me on social media, you're gonna see me spitting spiritual
All of
principles. You're gonna see me teaching. But you also, I have to tell people, y'all, I'm not a Jesus beater though. Like, I'm not a church beater.
No,
I'm not
I'm
that
not telling you
person.
nothing.
So I'm not that person. I don't want you to get confused when you see me with my doing my two-step with my liquor. Because I want you to know, like, I'm not selling something, but I'm telling you, God is the head of my life. Because
That's all I can
of
do.
everything I
That's
do,
all I can do.
and that's the only reason why I was able to do
Let
it.
me tell you, when I was opening that shop, stuff was happening. This girl scammed me. I paid her to decorate my shop, and I knew her, so why would I think she was scamming? She scammed me. It's okay. And it was like 2 weeks before opening. It's okay. Got somebody else to do. We still opened when we were supposed to open. Stuff still has happened. And here we go, about to be 3 years in August, and we are still open.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still open. Her still
You're
selling.
going.
Stuff is still happening, and I'm still going to work. Being my
Being a nurse practitioner.
girl, I work Monday through Friday now. Now that was the problem. As a nurse, I work 3/12.
Yeah.
As a nurse practitioner, you work 5 days a week.
Really? Why does it change? Is it less hours?
It's just you're in the. I'm in a where I work at, because I'm in the doctor's office. I do primary care. So you know most
so
practices
it's
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
But even then, stuff happened. Like I graduated January of last year. Well, my I was done November of 2022. My graduation was January 2022.
you got to have your graduation.
I got my kids was there. I got to have my graduation. I took graduation pictures.
Yes.
I put on a captain gown.
Yes.
I wore the hat. It was decorated. That was a feeling I needed. That was something I needed. I needed that, and that's why I said it was a feeling. Like I needed that, and I took my kids. This was in Florida. We all went. Some of my family went. We went. They watched it. It happened. I was like, yes, Lord, shout out. You know, it happened. My mom, my dad, them got to watch it on YouTube because it was a live graduation. I was like, girl, forget everything you did. This moment right here was what you wanted.
And you're done.
People thought I was like, why do you care to walk that stage?
It's important.
I needed that. What do you mean why? I'm the only one of my mom kids who graduated high school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you didn't get to walk.
Only one. And I didn't get to walk.
So this goes deeper.
Yeah.
It's way deeper.
It gets
It's
deep.
a symbol of achievement for a couple generations.
So much.
Your mother, your
Yes.
generation, now your
Yes.
kids as well.
And my dad had 9 kids, and I think I'm the second person that graduated. It's like, no, I needed that.
Yeah, I see you getting emotional.
Girl, when I say I needed that, people don't get it. They think you chasing money. All that. You need the money, you need everything, but it's a feeling of success. That's when I knew.
Yeah.
That moment I fought for, my kids were happy for me. Like it was like, what?
Okay, we
that
got this.
happened. That was in January of, I keep forgetting that we in this year, Lord.
Yeah, that was in 2024. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was in 2023. That happened. I took boards in February. Oh my God. I
Right,
thought I was
so
dying.
that
I thought the heart attack was
yeah.
happening. The big one. The big one that he talks about. Mr. Sanford stuff. Oh, it was happening. And the good thing about MP, you find out the same day. They can give you like an hour. I think they know you.
Oh, that's good.
So when I got the email that it came, I was right by my shop. I pulled up on my shop. That's why I'm saying God be working. My dad the one who told me about this place, right? When I got what to do, I was by my shop. When I got that confirmation that my results was in, I was by my shop. So I pulled up and nobody was there. It was dark. I pulled up in that parking lot. I opened those results. I prayed first. I said, Lord, don't play with me. I'ma die.
You
if
was
this
in
don't
that
happen.
test.
You took that test because I didn't. I couldn't see. I was crazy. I opened it, said it passed. I called my daddy. He was the first person I called. You know, why you sound so surprised? I'm not. I told Daddy, you're the only one. I didn't know. I didn't know.
You didn't know what was happening.
Girl, my dad passed a few months later.
Oh,
I think he needed to see that happen. He held on until then. He didn't start getting sick until after I started my MP job. I think he was like, "Look, girl, I'm done with you now. You needed me, because had that happened while I was going out, I probably would have not done it.
Because he helped you with the shop.
Yeah.
And he saw you through.
He did. When I used to call him
practitioner.
complaining, everything. Like I used to be studying when I was there when he's doing chemo. You know, because he got chemo for 2 hours. I'm here with him. You know, so. I think if he would have passed in that moment, I probably would have stopped school or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I do.
I think they know too.
Yeah.
I think people know, like, I can't go or let go until this happens.
Like this little girl, he knew. Like he know his child. I started my my MP job. I started that Wednesday. That Thursday, I get the call that he's not acting right. I told these folks, I just started this job, right? These people like, girl, what? I told them I gotta go take care of my daddy. They're like, I'll get another job. I can't get another daddy. I had this conversation with Erica now. She was like, got you. Do what you need to do. That job backed me and let me go until I came back. They held my spot. He passed in like 2 weeks after that happened. After me starting the job, I got my job. I'm happy about it. He like, I feel like he was like, she good.
Can we talk about this too? I think that's a beautiful thing. Something just came to my mind though. I think having a business on the side also gives you a level of freedom to make these types of choices.
Definitely.
Like that's literally a level of freedom. Like that's why I tell people sometimes it's not about like leaving what you're doing. It's about having options.
Just having options.
Because I'm going to take care of my father.
I'm doing that
either way.
Either way, because I know I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's just not an option. That's the freedom owning a business.
And it is. Because I know I have a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home. I have a Range Rover outside. I got 3 kids. So you talking about you gonna leave this job to do what again? Like what are you talking about? You know, so in my shop, that's a bill. I pay every bill at home. I pay them. You know, so
it's more bills.
Yeah, but I knew I have to. But the job was still there when I came back. When I went back from him, he passed 2 weeks. Like he was walking one day and one the next week. It happened fast. Like I said, I really think he was waiting on me to get in the space.
And I think you needed it too.
I did.
Yeah, like you needed him to see it.
I needed him to see it. What? And that's one thing I think about now that he's gone, because grief is a process. But I think he saw that. I'm his baby. I'm his last born. My dad had 9 kids. I'm the last of the dying breed. You know what I'm saying? But that was my person. Like that was my. He gonna support any shenanigans I got. If I'm like, Dad, they made me mad. He like, well, what you gonna do? You know, like, but no, he be like, to hell with him. But yeah, so that happened, and now but two, I think it was like, I don't need her to keep worrying about me. She needs to do her job.
She needs to do her job. Gotcha.
I'm sick of playing her too.
Yeah.
And she needs to do her job.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And I feel bad when I tell people, I'm like, I had a lot going on with that at first, and now I don't have that. I get the feeling empty. Like I'm so used to taking the place. Like, girl, how you empty and you got all this to do? Now you can
got
just
a lot to do. Because I want to add this too. Not only the business is, you also you're a nursing school instructor. And
I love it. So many, and I had a page I started on Facebook called Nurse Talk 101 because I'm so happy to see our girls are getting into nursing now. I'm not saying that we never were in there, but we in there now.
Yeah,
like we are there. We dominating
now.
And y'all going to the top.
Let's be clear, because there was not always a space for black girls. You know, not saying that black girls weren't nurses, but we were not always the ones that was in nursing. Right, we are here. I want us to stay here and I want us to keep coming. So I created a space where I was like giving study advice, like just all kind of stuff. So people come to me like, can you be my mentor? Can you be my mentor? Sure. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because I do a lot, but I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm not gonna turn you away because I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? I just tackled it on. You know, so yeah. And I teach a health class for SIUE Carbondale RN and BSN program.
Okay.
So. Yeah, but
girl.
Like I love that. You know, I love what I do, and I see so many. I'm not gonna call them bad nurses, but maybe they lack something. So if I can help these people get in here and really do, because sometimes because you're young, you look like you don't know nothing. I'll be looking like I don't know nothing. Even if I don't know, I'm okay with learning.
You're underestimated sometimes.
At my job now, they be like, girl, you really know some stuff. Like, people don't think you know some stuff. And like, this is how I talk. This is how I talk to my patients. This is how I talk. I don't do big words. I don't do medical jargon. I'm not trying to prove to you I'm educated. You know that already.
Because I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I got the paper.
I don't have to be like that. I talk to my patients.
And I think because you don't wear a title. So some people, like, yes, you love being the nurse
who I am.
practitioner,
I will put on that white coat if I need to, but I don't got to.
It didn't make you who you
No,
are.
it didn't make me who I
And
was.
that's the difference.
It did not
That's
make
the
me.
difference.
I think that is the passion too.
Yes.
That makes the difference as far as some of the good nurses and some of the bad nurses.
So many for the money.
Some people
But for
are
the
just
titles.
there for the
The
money.
money or the titles.
Exactly.
Without it all, I still love what I do. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna come nobody job Monday through Friday for free.
Right.
But I might volunteer to help some stuff.
Right.
But even
Exactly.
still now, I work in East St. Louis. I found a clinic in East St. Louis to work at. I'm still serving this underserved population. I'm still
And
giving
we
care
thank you
to
for
these.
that.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you this because it's going to lead into here.
Yes.
So share with our audience 3 or 4 tips you would tell anyone that wants to rise through the CNA, LPN, because I love that you've been at every level, that you can understand the thought processes at each level. Somebody may be sitting there as a CNA not even believing they can be a nurse practitioner. So share 3 to 4 tips with them.
Well, first off, look at me, right? I'm here, I've done it, but so you have to have a passion for it. Do it because you want to do it. Like, don't do it because it's a thing to do. Because I see a lot of people now are doing it because people posting what they're paid.
Yeah.
I see so many people now are asking to do it. You will not make it if you do not care about what you're doing. And we're dealing with people, family.
Yep.
We're dealing with people. So first off, make sure that this is something you want to do. Don't stop. You're going to be discouraged. It's hard. It's designed to be hard. There's no way it should be easy if you're taking care of people's lives. If people's lives are in your hand. Right. It's going to be hard. It's designed to be hard, but you stick through it. Don't be afraid to reach out. Reach out to your support system. Reach out to those around you. Let them help you carry this burden, because nursing school is no joke. I didn't let nobody help me. But you should let people help you. Like, it's no joke. And just stick to the script. Stick to the script the whole way through. See it through. Don't give up. Stick to the script. If you got the plan and you got it written out, stick to it. Stick to it. I didn't club. I didn't do any of that. I stuck to it because it was gonna be there in 11
They
months
gonna
when I was
finish. They gonna
done.
be there when you finish.
It was
Yeah,
there.
you're gonna have a lot more money to spend.
I was gonna say, I might buy you a drink when I see
In
you.
the 11 months I didn't club, but my celebration was at the club when I graduated.
Right.
Stick through it and stay motivated. And I don't know if you don't believe in God, but if you believe, please stay prayed up. Because that's how I made it through many tests, many things. God will clear your mind and open your eyes to see answers you didn't even know was there.
I believe that.
And that's in any situation, not even just, and that's in anything. If you pray for that and you pray for it, you gotta be like people. Like, I don't know how to pray. You talk. You ask for what it is you want,
And then
If
be
it's
quiet
hard-
enough to listen.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, Tierra Smith, you are a black boss lady.
And your legacy will live on the Black Boss Ladies platform.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on the BBL Platform Podcast, the place where legacies live. We hope you will join us on our next inspirational journey to success. Be sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our show. For more information, please visit our website at theBBLplatform.com.